What if you combine Song of Creation with Show and Tell combo? That's exactly what we're doing today. It's an ultra spicy combo deck. Let's go check it out. Before we begin today's video, let's start by thanking Valgrim, who submitted today's donation deck. They're a member of our Combo Cabal tier. With that, you get 1 hour of coaching every month, but on top of that, you get a free donation deck. Valgrim is cashing that in to see a deck that they've been working on, Legacy Song and Show. So the idea is that you're combining Song of Creation combo with Show and Tell combo into Omniscience. And at first I was a little skeptical, and then I've thought more and more about this. I really love this, and I'm not just saying that for clicks or views or whatever. I think that this deck is actually very coherent. So the idea is that Show and Tell can allow you to cast Song of Creation more easily, which is fair, but it's also just a bluff sometimes because you could Show and Tell, they'll force it, and then you play Song of Creation into a bunch of your 0 mana artifacts, which generate mana and then obviously draw cards. Eventually you could Show and Tell again into Omniscience. Okay. Well, we like casting our spells for free, especially with the Song of Creation in play. Eventually, you'll find Burning Wish. And then Burning Wish can find Approach of the Second Sun. And then when you're casting all of your spells for free, it's really easy to win with Approach of the Second Sun instead of something like Tendrils of Agony. And Approach of the Second Sun beats the One Ring, it beats Veil of Summer. It's actually the cleanest win when mana isn't a concern. So I think Approach of the Second Sun is the best card here. And on top of that, Burning Wish finds Show and Tell, so you're more consistent at finding the deck's namesake card. I like this idea a lot, and one secret thing about this deck is that you're a Tamiyo Inquisitive Student deck, which can obviously get back Show and Tells with the negative ability on the back. But what I really like about it is, in your Mox Opal deck, Tamiyo creates clue tokens, which are artifacts, so your Mox Opals are more likely to be active, so Mox Opal is your Ancient Tomb that you're actually not playing in this deck because you're a Song of Creation strategy. So you have mana efficiency with the Mox Opals. This deck is honestly quite elegant and I love it quite a bit. But one concern I have is that you're a 13 land deck versus the tempo strategies, and Valgrim fixed that up by playing 3 copies of Carpet of Flowers in the sideboard along with your 2 copies of Besage Who Endures. This deck has a lot of thought and, thoughtfulness. I'm blanking on words here, but you could tell it's a cohesive thing that's been planned out, and I like that quite a bit. So hopefully we do well today. I would honestly expect to. This deck looks solid, and hopefully it ends up playing out that way. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff, and I will see you in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1 with Legacy Song and Show. We're on the draw. We have turn 1 Tamiyo Inquisitive Student plus Brainstorm, double forcible backup. I'd like to keep this. I have no clue what our opponent's playing. They play an Arid Mesa and pass the turn. We draw Mox Opal. Not a great draw here. But we want to grab the basic so that way we don't lose to a wasteland. And then I'll play Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Pass. They grab a basic mountain. How badly do I want to fight over this Tamiyo? I feel like I do. We're going to Forcible Exile Show and Tell. They play another mountain, 5 cards in their hand. Suspends a Riftbolt. We're facing actual burn. Okay. Was not expecting that. Brainstorm will attack with the Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. And I think I'm going to pass here and try to trick them because they have a Riftbolt on Suspend. If they target the Tamiyo, I can transform it. And they do target Tamiyo, I'll play Brainstorm. And now we'll flip the Tamiyo. Put back Burning Wish and a land. And now the Riftbolt fizzles. They have 3 cards. They play a Sunbaked Canyon. Lava Spike, I go down to 12. They have 2 cards remaining. Play the Misty Rainforest, we'll plus Tamiyo. And I think I'll just pass the turn. And step, they draw off the Sunbaked Canyon. They play another land. I will fetch with the Misty Rainforest and we'll grab Thundering Falls. Get rid of the Tamiyo. Let's brainstorm. Okay, that was good. We'll put back Veil of Summer and Mox Opal. I'm not as confident with that one. We'll play the land. I'm not sure if I'm going to fetch. Ooh, I actually have Tamiyo next turn to get a card that triggers Song. So maybe I am allowed to fetch. They grab a mountain, 3 cards still in their hand. They're about to drop to a 4th. Eidolon of the Great Revel. I think I'm going to Force of Will this. Exile Force of Will. They play a land. The question is, do I want the Mox Opal? And I think I do. We'll fetch down to 9. They have 2 cards in hand. So I don't believe there's any 2-card combinations that kill me here. We'll play Show and Tell. Put in Omniscience. And now we'll cast Song of Creation for free. Play the Mox Opal. Trigger Song of Creation. They Fire Blast me down to 5. We'll play Mishra's Bauble. Mishra's Bauble. They have no hand now. We'll play another Mishra's Bauble. We'll play Chrome Mox. Imprint and Omniscience. Play Brainstorm. There's the Burning Wish. We'll put back 2 lands. And now we'll Burning Wish, redraw those 2 lands. Yes. Grab Approach of the Second Sun versus the Burn deck. We'll gain 7 life. Play Lotus Petal. Play Lotus Petal. Play Chrome Mox. We'll imprint a Veil of Summer. We'll play a Mishra's Bauble. We redraw the Approach of the Second Sun, and now we'll cast it. Boom. Alright, well, we beat Burn in game number 1. Let's see if we can steal another victory somehow. We'll board in Boomerang Basics. We don't need these Veil of Summers, that's for sure. Okay, we probably don't need the Mistrise Village, and I can bring in the Beseiju indoors. I think I'm down to try this. Game number 2. On the draw, I think I'll try this. They play a Mountain and suspend a Riftbolt. I think I'm going to play out Tamiyo here just as bait. Hopefully it eats a removal spell. Riftbolt coming off of Suspend. And they go directly at me this time. Sunbaked Canyon. Hexing Squelcher, okay. Omniscience. We'll play the Hedge Maze. Get rid of that Force of Will, we don't want that. And now we'll attack with the Tamiyo. This creates a clue token that ends up giving me Metalcraft here. So I can now Burning Wish for the Show and Tell, and then we have a win next turn. Burning Wish, yes. Grab Show and Tell, pass the turn. They Bolt Wave me. So I go down to 14. They attack for 2. This brings me down to 12. They Lightning Bolt me down to 9. End step, I'll use the Mishra's Bauble because I'm going to get Metalcraft back. Roiling Vortex, because the Tamiyo is going to create a clue. So Tamiyo just doing it all here. Another Show and Tell. We'll attack, investigate. So now we have both clue tokens. Deck working quite well here in match number 1. We'll play Show and Tell. Put on the Omniscience. Eidolon of the Great Revel. We'll play Song of Creation. So I need to hit that Burning Wish pretty quickly here, or a Boomerang Basics. We'll play Mishra's Bauble down to 7. Alright, so I can play Song of Creation. This will get a trigger without hurting me. There's the boom. Okay, so the Boomerang Basics will bring me down to 5. We'll plus the Tamiyo before I forget. And now we'll bounce the Eidolon of the Great Revel. Ooh, I have to pay 2 life. I forgot about that. So I'm actually going to go down to 3. Yes. Thankfully, they don't have Pyroblast. I'm sorry, not Pyroblast. Fire Blast available. And now we'll play Lotus Petal. I need a Burning Wish. Play another Lotus Petal. Play Mox Opal. No Burning Wish yet. We'll float a mana. Play another Mox Opal. 28 cards left in deck. So there is some concern about dying to my own Song of Creation. Alright, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. We'll play Burning Wish. Go grab Approach of the Second Sun. And now we'll play the Approach. And we'll bounce a Song of Creation. 12 cards left in the deck. We'll play a Mishra's Bauble. And there's the Approach. We'll play Approach again. And that'll do. Nice. We beat Burn. I mean, Burn is not a tier deck in Legacy, but I think it's still fine. And they had a pretty good draw against us. They had Eidolon. They had Roiling Vortex on top of their deck. Like, they came here to fight. And we managed to get it done. So that's sweet. We're now 1-0 in this Legacy League. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw versus someone who exclusively plays blue tempo decks. So this is a turn 1 Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, but you have no other mana sources. You do have Veil of Summer if you happen to draw a fetch land. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it's kind of a trap. I'm going to mulligan, I suppose. We'll keep and get rid of Mox Opal. They play Bloodstained Mire, Burn Underground Sea, and Careful Study. So it looks like they're on the Tempo Reanimator deck today. Discards an Atraxa. If you draw Lotus Petal number 3, I will pass. We are in trouble here. They play Basic Swamp into Animate Dead. Thoughtseize, Force of Will, Daze, Reanimate, Murktide Regent, Polluted Delta, and an Undercity Sewers. Not looking good for the home team. I suppose if I drew Omniscience, I could put it into play and make it uncounterable, but that's a big if. We'll grab Thundering Falls, get rid of the Show and Tell. That's a Veil of Summer. So something I could do here is when they go to Thoughtseize me, make my Veil of Summer uncounterable. They're going to Force of Will the Lotus Petal. Sure, we'll play another. Pass the turn. They Thoughtseize, I will make my next spell uncounterable, and Veil of Summer. We draw Brainstorm, they swing, ouch. They play a Polluted Delta, 4 cards in their hand, Burning Wish. We'll play the Flooded Strand, Brainstorm. That was not particularly good. We'll get rid of double Mox Opal, play the Mishra's Bauble, fetch, grab a Hedge Maze. Am I supposed to keep that? We know that there's already another Thoughtseize on the bottom. I think I'm going to get rid of it. I need to draw an Omniscience. We'll look at the top of their deck. I suppose it doesn't hurt to bluff another Veil of Summer, and we'll pass. Mishra's Bauble, we draw Force of Will, and they ponder. We're dead in 2 turns, so I need to do something. Not that I love it, but we could look into bouncing the Atraxa with a Boomerang Basics. So this is going to put me to 6. I think we have to try the Boomerang Basics line. Yes. Grab Boomerang Basics. And bounce the Atraxa. They Force of Will, exile and Careful Study, will Force of Will back. And they have another Force of Will, so they found triple force that game? Granted, they had an Atraxa trigger, but that's a lot. Alright, we lose. We'll bring in Pyroblast. I think we want Carpet of Flowers. I'm not convinced this is a great Tamiyo matchup, so I'm going to board those out. And then we'll shave 1 Mox Opal, and we'll try this. On the play for game 2, I'm going to keep it, but I do not love it. So I view one of the copies of Omniscience as just Force of Will fodder, and then we need to draw more lands and Show and Tell. I'll use the Mishra's Bauble. Do not need another Burning Wish, so we'll fetch. Maybe I should have waited to Bauble, because now I can't grab the Hedge Maze. We'll just grab Tropical Island and pass. Drew Burning Wish anyway. I'm just that skilled, let me tell you. They play an island and Tamiyo. I guess Burning Wish... Okay, I was going to say the second one could be my Show and Tell if I drew a land, but I didn't. We have to pass. Incoming Wasteland and me crying myself to sleep. They swing, and now they Brainstorm. I could have Force of Willed it. I just don't think that's what I'm supposed to do in the match. They plus the Tamiyo. Undercity Sewers. Gets rid of an Atraxa. Another Veil of Summer. I think I'm going to discard a Burning Wish here. Why would I have drawn lands? That's unrealistic. They get back Brainstorm with the Tamiyo. And there's the Wasteland. Ay. We'll float green. Play Veil of Summer. You draw another Scalding Tarn, or I guess our first Scalding Tarn, and I will pass. Instead, they sacrifice the Clue. They play Polluted Delta. I don't have an untapped green source. There's only 1 Tropical Island in the deck. I will Force of Will. And they Force of Will back. I'm going to concede. This game was a nightmare. Alright, so we are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Last match was brutal. Let's bounce back from that. It's time for round number 3. We're on the play. This seems great. Let's keep. We could, and I'm just talking out loud here, go all in and try to flip the Tamiyo on turn 1. That seems a little aggressive to me. I'm going to just pass the turn instead. Like, what if I imprint Show and Tell and then they just force a will the Brainstorm? I would feel so bad. Alright, it looks like they're Eldrazi. Let's attack with the Tamiyo. Create that clue token, which will give us Metalcraft and Brainstorm. This will transform the Tamiyo. Oh my, that was good. Okay, so how can I maximize this? So I think we put back Hedgemaze's Force of Will. I'm just talking out loud here. And then land Opal Chromox. I think I could put the Omniscience into play, but I can't cast anything. I wouldn't have a hand. I'd have to imprint the Brainstorm. Alright, so I'll put back the Force of Will. Tamiyo transforms. We'll plus the Tamiyo. Play the Polluted Delta. And I think I'm going to just pass here. Because I don't want to imprint the Brainstorm. And if I Show and Tell, they could put in a large Eldrazi and attack my Tamiyo. They play a Wasteland. Glaring Fleshraker, that's fine. Chalice of the Void for 0. That's actually kind of annoying here. Yeah, that happens. Secretly good, even though I don't think they expected it to be. Hit the Herald's the End. Chalice of the Void for 0. Not good for me. So I would really like to Surveil into another Mana Source here. We'll grab Thundering Falls. And by Mana Source, I mean land. I don't think I'm allowed to keep that. That's another song. We'll play Brainstorm. Okay. Put back 2 0-mana value artifacts. We'll play our land. Plus the Tamiyo. Unfortunately, I have to pass. They play a Lotus Petal, which is countered by their own Chalice of the Void. Secluded Courtyard. They have 3 cards in their hand. They could cast anything here. Chalice of the Void for 1. Okay. We are still capable of winning this. Tamiyo triggers when they attack. And Tamiyo's knocked down to 3 loyalty. We'll grab a Hedgemaze. Keep the Burning Wish. I believe that's the game. We'll play the Scalding Tarn. Fetch. Grab Volcanic Island. We'll play Show and Tell. Put in Omniscience. They play a Cavern of Souls. We'll play Song of Creation. Burning Wish off of the Omniscience. Song of Creation triggers. We'll grab Approach of the Second Sun and play it. Song triggers again. And now we're going to play some artifacts into the Chalice of the Void just to draw cards. Might as well play our land. Fisher's Bauble. Play a Lotus Petal. And Approach of the Second Sun! How about that? Pretty sweet when it works, I will say that. Did not work versus Reanimator, but, you know, that happens sometimes. We'll bring in board out the Veil of Summers. We'll bring in Boomerang Basics. We likely want the Boseiju indoors as well. Maybe we'll board out a couple copies of Tamiyo. I don't think it's amazing versus Eldrazi. It was fine there, but it wasn't incredible. We'll hit Submit. I'll admit to you, I've made a mistake. I left in Mistrise Village versus the Chalice deck, which could be okay, but more than likely is not going to be super useful. I don't think that this hand is actually good. We don't have Metalcraft. We're in 2 turns, we could bounce a Chalice of the Void. Am I really talking myself into keeping this bad hand? I think we should mulligan. This is better. We'll keep and get rid of the Chromox. They have a Wasteland, Chalice of the Void. I am definitely glad I mulliganed. We'll play Thundering Falls and Surveil. Keep the island. Pass the turn. They play Secluded Courtyard. We'll play Scalding Tarn and pass. Another Wasteland. That's annoying. Third is passing the turn. We draw Boseiju indoors. We'll play our island. Pass. Wasteland number 3. This Thought-Knot Seer? It is. I will Force of Will, exiling Force of Will. And I think that this is probably supposed to be a turn where we try to make it happen. I don't think I'm realistically allowed to destroy this Chalice. I think I need this Boseiju to help cast Song of Creation. think we keep the tropical island. I mean, that was good. So my game plan here is I think I'm still going to play out the Boseiju. I'm going to sit on the tropical island, though, and hope that we draw boomerang basics. Red, green, green, blue. Song of Creation. And now we'll play Mishra's Bauble, which is countered by the Chalice of the Void, but we still draw 2 cards. And we are looking to draw into boomerang basics. We'll play a Mox Opal. Ooh, we fizzled. Play Tropical Island. Pass the turn. Is this a Chalice of the Void? What are you doing? Wayscape Battle Mage. Alright, that's going to beat me here. We can go to the next one. Unfortunate. On the play. Game number 3. Ooh, this is a turn 1. We lose to a card that I don't want to say out loud, but it is a turn 1 win. Most likely. I would like to do a little bit of showing and a tiny bit of telling. Is that possible? Show and tell? No, they had it! They had the Mindbreak Trap. That card ruins my life. I wish it did not exist. Whoever designed Zendikar, I hate. They made my life significantly worse. Ah, brutal. We will brainstorm. I think we've lost. Pass the turn. They play Cavern of Souls. Eldrazi Linebreaker. Yep. And we have to pass. They have a Wasteland. Brutal. Alright, I've seen enough. We are now 1 and 2. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. Okay, I feel defeated at this point. Don't even want to play more Magic, but we're on the play. I hate Mindbreak Traps so much. Like, I know the meme on this channel is that I hate Karn the Great Creator, and I do. But secretly, Mindbreak Trap is the card that I can't stand the most. We'll keep. I don't know what our opponent's playing. We'll play Polluted Delta, Lotus Petal, Mishra's Bauble, and then pass the turn. Taiga, so probably lands. Grafdigger's Cage, that doesn't matter. I will Mishra's Bauble. I would like the Omniscience. We'll draw that. Force of Will. I'll just play Mistrise Village and pass. Exploration. And Bojuka Bog. You got it. They play a Dark Depths. We draw the Burning Wish. So I just need a payoff for Omniscience if it's Burning Wish. Or Burning Wish. Okay, so Burning Wish now goes and grabs the sideboard Show and Tell. Get rid of Lotus Petal, I think. Because I think I want the Force of Will. No, I don't actually think I'm allowed to keep Force of Will here. Alright, so because I need to imprint to the Burning Wish, so I don't think it works. So I'm going to grab Volcanic Island and we'll play Burning Wish for Show and Tell. Yes, and now we grab Show and Tell. Pass the turn. They play Crop Rotation, sacrificing the Bojuka Bog. For a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, they play Mazavith, and now a Vibrance. So this could search their library for a land like a Boseiju Indoors or even a Thespian Stage. They do grab Thespian Stage. They play it, and now they can make a 20/20. They have 2 cards in hand. We're going to attempt to do a little bit of showing and some telling. Show and tell. Put in Omniscience. We'll play Song of Creation, Lotus Petal, and we're off to the races. Another Lotus Petal, Burning Wish. Aw, they weren't going to let me approach of the Second Sun. Okay, so we don't need Veil of Summer. We'll bring in Boseiju Indoors, maybe a couple Boomerang basics, and we'll try this. Actually, is Tameo better than Boomerang basics? It probably is in this matchup. Alright, I'm just going to try this then. Can we draw lands? That's the question. I'm going to keep. I'm probably going to end up regretting it, but I'm going to keep it. They play Grove of the Burn Willows. Alright, we're only a mana away. We'll play Mishra's Bauble. Pass the turn. Thespian Stage. Mox Diamond. Gets rid of a Ghost Quarter. We'll use the Bauble. I could have used it in their upkeep, I just didn't. Commercial District is their top card. We'll draw off the Bauble. Another Chrome Mox. And another Chrome Mox. You get a Chrome Mox. You get a Chrome Mox. I guess we don't have the Omniscience. That's the missing piece here. Play Chrome Mox. I think I might just imprint Burning Wish and pass. They play a crop rotation. I'm going to allow that to happen. They grab an Urza Saga. Saga goes to the second chapter. They play Commercial District. Gets rid of Wasteland. They're keeping open Beseiju. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I'm pretty confident they have a Beseiju indoors. We'll play Mishra's Bauble and use it. Wasteland is their top card. We draw another Burning Wish, not a great draw. Let's see if they make another construct. They do. They grab the Grafdigger's Cage, and they still have Beseiju mana open. I go to 17. 3 cards in their hand. Another Song of Creation. We'll play Chrome Mox. Imprint trigger on the stack. We'll imprint Song of Creation, and then let's play Brainstorm. There's the Omniscience. I'm just trying to think out loud here. So if I put back Chrome Mox land, and I go Opal, Petal, Show and Tell, I'm lacking the blue card for backup if they have like a Pyroblast. I think I'm supposed to wait a turn. We'll put back the Chrome Mox and Burning Wish, play the Misty Rainforest, and pass the turn. Alright, so Urza Saga. They can attack me down for 8, so I'll end up at 9. Yep. I don't think I want the Burning Wish on top of the deck, so I'm going to fetch it away. We'll grab Basic Island. Okay, so a land here means that I can theoretically get an extra trigger off Song of Creation. Alright, so my game plan, and this could be dumb, is I'm going to Show and Tell, put in the Omniscience. I have to fight here. Alright, so I'll Forcible Exile the Omniscience. That's no longer the game plan. It's just Song plus Trigger and Prey. If they have Beseiju, they have Beseiju. And now I'll play a Lotus Petal, trigger the Song. They have Force of Vigor as well. I'll float a red. So Tameo means that I have 1 blocker next turn. I suppose that, I could draw one of my 2 remaining Song of Creations and win. It's a possibility. Maybe keeping... No, I didn't have another blue card. Like, I put back Burning Wish and a land, so I didn't have an opportunity to keep an extra blue card. I was like, well, maybe if I kept another blue card and 1 less artifact, but I didn't have that choice. I'll block and go to 2 unless they make another construct and put me to 1. And they do. I'm pretty sure it has to be Song of Creation. Alright, so we lose game number 2. No changes. Let's just resubmit. On the play for game 3. We'll keep. I don't know how good this is, but we'll keep. They mulligan to 5. Play Misty Rainforest and pass the turn. They play Urza's Saga. Mox Diamond. Gets rid of a Wasteland. We'll fetch. They have 3 cards remaining. We'll grab Thundering Falls. Keep the Burning Wish. And I think I'm going to pass. Saga goes to the second chapter. And they don't have another land, so we should definitely not play into Beseiju here, because they won't have it available next turn if they don't draw another land. We'll keep the Polluted Delta, and I think I'll just pass here. Saga goes to the third chapter. They crop rotation for a Taiga, and now the Saga ability. Ooh, I didn't think of playing around Needle. Okay, so they're going to clip my Polluted Delta here. Yep, that's fine. Not the end of the world. Tropical Island. I wonder if I can get them to bite on a Show and Tell here. And they do. We'll pass. They still have 3 cards in their hand. They play another Mox Diamond, getting rid of a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. 2 cards remain. We'll fetch. Grab the Volcanic Island. And try a Song of Creation. Lotus Petal. Trigger. They have Force of Vigor. They now have no hand. Pass the turn. So something I am thinking about right now is that we do have a Peer into the Abyss in the sideboard that is mostly meant for Omniscience. That said, I'm 1 black mana away from casting it, so it is on my mind. Let's play Brainstorm. Are we going to Peer into the Abyss the hard way here? Maybe. Play out this Mox Opal. Burning Wish. Yes. We'll grab Peer into the Abyss. Let's play my land. Pass the turn. And they concede! Peer into the Abyss. I didn't actually get to cast it, but I was going to. And we are now 2-2 in this league. 1 match remains. The best Legacy podcast? That would be Eternal Glory, featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Cook and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. The final match of this Legacy League, we are on the play. Sure. I mean, I don't know if this is actually any good, but I'm going to try it. It could be a turn 2 Song of Creation. We'll play Mistrise Village and pass. They play Ancient Tomb. Chalice of the Void. Ugh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, I'll force will your Chalice of the Void into Fable of the Mirror, so they're Moon Stompy. We'll play Mishra's Bauble, Mox Opal, Chrome Mox, no, and then I'll Burning Wish for Show and Tell. Pass the turn. They get rid of Fury and a Mountain. They attack. They play another Mountain and a second Fable of the Mirror. We'll use the Mishra's Bauble. Blood Moon, how lovely. Alright, so now we'll draw off the Mishra's Bauble. That's a good draw. So is that. But I'm 1 mana short of being able to cast Show and Tell into Omniscience. So I think I'm supposed to pass here. Any imprintable wins the game next turn, assuming our opponent doesn't play a 8-piece. We could actually beat the Blood Moon. I'm not worried about Blood Moon here. They discard double Blood Moon. They swing all the mana in the world for them. They have 2 cards in their hand. Magus of the Moon, sure. And a Hexing Squelcher. Alright. Lotus Petal also wins here. So we'll play Lotus Petal. And now I will Show and Tell. Put in the Omniscience. Burning Wish. Yes. Grab the Peer into the Abyss. Cast it targeting myself. And now we'll play Burning Wish. Yes. Grab Approach of the Second Sun. We'll play Approach of the Second Sun. I'm up to 13 life. We'll play Mishra's Bauble, Lotus Petal, Mishra's Bauble. I'm just trying to thin my hand here a little bit. We have all 4 Brainstorms, so that gets us closer, but not all the way. We'll put back 2 lands. There's a Song of Creation. That should do it. So we'll play a Tameo Inquisitive Student, trigger the song. Play a Mox Opal. Keep the new one. We'll play another Lotus Petal. And there's the Approach of the Second Sun. And we'll cast it. Okay, so we take game number 1. Love that for us. We do not need Veil of Summer versus Moon Stompy. I am interested in Boomerang Basics and the Visager Who Endures. We'll actually remember to board out Mistrise Village this time. And then we'll shave 1 Tameo Inquisitive Student. Let's try this. This hand is very good. We will keep. They play Ancient Tomb. Turn 1 Magus of the Moon. That's annoying. I do have Chrome Mox in my deck. There's also 1 basic island if I can draw it. We'll play Thundering Falls. Pass. There's no answer to Magus of the Moon in our sideboard. I would love a Chrome Mox. So now it has to be the 1 of basic island. Another Mox Opal. We will pass. Okay, 1 out of 51. Let's make it happen. Sure. I mean, we still just need that 1 of island. We'll go to cleanup. Discard Mox Opal. They swing. Ouch. We'll discard Tameo Inquisitive Student. Another Magus of the Moon. Technically an island, just not the one we want. Alright, so we will pass. Running out of time here. They swing. I'm at 8. Hexing Squelcher. Okay, we have 1 draw step. 1 out of 47 to win the match. I go to 2. That was not basic island. We lose game number 2 on the draw. Okay. Send it back. Game 3 on the play. Sure. We'll keep. They kept 7 as well. We'll play Mishra's Bauble. Mishra's Bauble. Look at our top card. Omniscience. I love that. Let's look at their top card. Disruptor Flute. I'll play Chrome Mox and print a Burning Wish, and we will pass. So we know that we're drawing Omniscience. Force of Will. Force of Will is not an amazing draw here. I mean, I suppose I could maybe counter a Disruptor Flute, but that doesn't seem great. Chalice of the Void for 0 is fine. They have the Ancient Tomb. I'll fetch. And now they're probably going to name Show and Tell. They do. We'll grab our basic island so I don't lose to a Blood Moon. Play the Hedge Maze. Get rid of the Lotus Petal. And we'll pass. Into Fable of the Mirror. Okay. Tropical Island. I still think I'm supposed to just pass the turn here. I could Burning Wish for Show and Tell and start the process a little early. The issue with that is I still don't have a payoff for this Omniscience. So I could potentially do that and then end up needing a payoff and then get stuck. I don't love that. They only discard one card to the Chrome Mox. That's probably not a good sign for me. They play another land. A Fiery Confluence to destroy my Chrome Mox. Sure. And I'm at 13. We'll play Brainstorm. Get rid of the Mox Opal and Force of Will. Play the Misty Rainforest. And I think now that I have a Boomerang Basics, I'm going to Burning Wish for the Show and Tell. And now if I can draw another Burning Wish or something else, we could win. They have Magus of the Moon. That's actually annoying here because I don't have blue to Boomerang Basics and Show and Tell. Oh, that's brutal. I have to pass. The next turn I'm going to take 6 this turn, bringing me to 4. I don't think there's one draw that gets me out of this. I believe we've lost. Well, for some reason, they're attacking for 4. I guess they could still make one on the end step and kill me, so there's not a real downside. And I'm dead to the Fiery Confluence. So we went 2 and 3 in this league. I liked the concept of the deck. I still do. But I do have some feedback. Just Brainstorm didn't feel like enough sculpting. I understand that you have Mishra's Baubles plus Surveils and Fetches. Like, I get it. But it felt like a lot of my draws, I was just stuck being captive to the deck. So I would like to see more cantrips in there. At least Ponder. But the deck needed something else. What that something is, I'm not sure. But Brainstorm alone was not consistent enough. And then I like the Veil of Summer because obviously your Song of Creation deck and the best deck in the format plays 4 Orcish Bowmasters. But I did feel like we boarded it out a lot. I'm not saying that you should cut it. I'm just not sure that 4 is the right number. It might be. And I'm open to that. But there was a lot of times where it felt kind of dead. I guess that's my point there. But I liked the idea of it. It didn't really function as well as I would have hoped. But sweet idea. Thank you to Velgrim for the donation deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, keep storming. Thanks for checking out today's video. We are sponsored by KMC Sleeves. I use hard perfect fits on every card in my collection. Doesn't matter if it's a deck, a binder, or a box. And then KMC Hyper Phoenix on all of my decks. They're the best way to protect your cards. And if you're interested in getting your own, visit kmcsleeves.com and use code STORM10 at checkout for 10% off.